What is your profession?
So here we have 1500 points of Black Legion. Starting off with the troop choices, we have 3 squads of Chaos Space Marines. Each squad has got a heavy bolter in it. We then also have 2 Rhinos with Havoc Launcher and Combi Bolter. 2 squads of Obliterators with the Mark of Slanesh. And then a big squad of Chaos Terminators. They have got Combi Plasma, Power Axes, Power Fist. They're all WYSIWYG, the whole army's WYSIWYG. And then here we have a custom Abaddon model. So some of you may remember the last time I faced Johnny was in 7th edition when he had all his custom Mauler Fiends, custom Spawn, custom Sorcerers. He's back here today, partway through another custom army which is Black Legion. Every single model in this army has got a conversion of some description. Every single one of these Space Marines is from the Dark Vengeance set, and they have been upgraded with third-party bits. These Havoc Launchers are obviously custom made, really cool looking. These Obliterators are actually made from Mutilator models with a lot of green stuff added on. And then these Terminators are converted from, what was it? Gal Vorbaks. Every single one of those is converted. So really, really impressive army, really beautiful looking army. It's going to be a treat to see this on the battlefield. And this is sort of a nice display for the new Chaos Codex, because these are some of the stratagems we can look forward to seeing in the match. So here we have 1500 points of Imperial Guard. Very simple army. 2 units of conscripts, 129, 130. Got some scions, 2 command squads with all plasma, 2 Tempesta primes, and then 2 normal scion squads, each with 2 melter guns and the sergeants of bolt pistols. We have 2 infantry squads with las cannon and plasma gun, 2 veteran squads with triple plasma gun and las cannon, and then something new we're trying out for the first time in 8th edition, 2 exterminators, all bolters, all autocannons, just as much DACA as possible. Not tried these out before, so we're going to see how it goes. Also new for the first time, me trying it in 8th edition, 2 astropaths and a tech priest astropath who just got las pistols, not the staff. And then 2 commissars with bolters and 2 company commanders with las pistol and chainsword. So there we go. My warlord for today is going to be this chap over here, and the warlord is obviously for the Black Legion is going to be Abaddon. He's got his own warlord trait, and I will be taking the resilience one on so here we are, the field of battle after deployment, line of Imperial Guard, the Mordian 50th, trying to hold against these initial Black Legion forces here. The mission today is Deadlock. First time of me playing Maelstrom in 8th edition. It's going to be very exciting. We've got an objective here, 4 strung out across the middle of the battlefield, and then another one here, so that's 6 objectives. For terrain, we're just saying everything that's got a base, including the hills, is just standard terrain. We're not going to be playing with any fancy rules, but if you're within the footprint of this, then that's also counts as being in terrain. So that's it. Currently Chaos have first turn. I was unable to seize the initiative, so let's be back at the end of Chaos. So these are the first 6 cards drawn by Chaos. Bit of a mix really. I mean, a lot of defend objectives, which is good and bad I suppose. He's got defend objective 1, which is there, possible, for the Dark Gods, which is destroy enemy unit. Secure objective 2, which he definitely has there, and then a defend objective 3 and 4. Now objective 3 is in the centre, but it's a bit close to the guard lines, and objective 4 is right there, so that's going to be quite tricky for him to get. And the last one is behind enemy lines, which may be possible with his deep strikers. Let's see what happens at the end. What absolutely blistering opening turn by the Black Legion. Their reinforcements dropped in over here, 2 units of obliterators. One of them opened fire, doing 2 wounds to this Lehman Russ. The other one opened fire and almost did 12 wounds, and I had to use a command point to reroll one of my saves to keep Pask alive. Should have mentioned in the beginning of the video that this one is Pask, Traitor's Bane is Pask, and the unmarked one is just a normal tank commander. But working our way over, some havoc shots, did a few bits of damage here and there, but the real stars of the show were Abaddon and his Terminators. They came over and with absolutely blistering firepower against his conscripts, using a stratagem that allowed them to fire twice, plus Abaddon giving them rerolls to hit, just put 50 odd wounds on the conscripts alone with the combi bolters, wasn't it? And then just the plasma on top, they just couldn't survive. So the first blood has been scored by Chaos. The objectives that they have scored are for the Dark Gods and secure objective 2, and they have discarded defend objective 4. So we can see what the Guard are going to do in there. So interesting first cards I've ever drawn in 8th edition. I've got secure objective 1, behind enemy lines, hold the line, secure objective 1 again, Kingslayer, and a secure objective 4. High Command is making it very obvious that this part of the battlefield should be treated as top priority. Secure the objective and kill the Warlord. So that's what we're going to have to do. Securing objective 4 should be relatively easy, and hold the line should be relatively easy, but let's see if we can get some more points. So the Guard got hit and they hit back even harder. Pretty devastating turn. Just the difference that it takes taking these plasma guns over the grenade launchers is just, you can't even put it into words. It's just insane. Over here, all this plasma, all these melter guns, they opened up, the scions dropped in, and it came down to the last few wounds, but we did just remove the Terminators. But Abaddon is in the fight, he is undamaged. Actually, Johnny was pretty lucky with a lot of his saves at the beginning, but in the end it was just 2 damage on the plasma, every single one. It really just makes a huge difference. Over here, similar sort of story, plenty of plasma with a bit of help from this Tank Commander Exterminator, help finish off these 3 Obliterators, and then over here 1 wound was done by a Pask on these Obliterators. The autocannon's doing okay. Probably would prefer to have battle cannons, but we're testing these autocannons out. They're not doing too badly, but let's see what Chaos can do in their return. They've still got plenty of Marines in these transports. Let's see if they can pull something back and claw some points. Should have mentioned I scored secure objective 4 behind enemy lines thanks to this cheeky chappy over here, and hold the line as well. So that's 3 points for the Guard and 2 points for Chaos. Here we are. Cards that Chaos have drawn turn 2, behind enemy lines, psychological warfare, defend objective 3, defend objective 1, and area denial. So some pretty interesting cards there. Let's see what they can achieve. Despite losing their Terminators, the Chaos forces have not been deterred and have absolutely just laid on the hurt this turn. Over here, the Chaos Marines and the Rhino fired into the veterans, reducing them down to just a handful, and then charged into the conscripts. The conscripts did interrupt and managed to bayonet one down, but quite a few conscripts have been removed from that unit now. Over here, these Obliterators kept up their sterling performance. 2 of them targeted Pask and just annihilated him, and 1 targeted this Lehman Russ and did 3 wounds to it, so it's down to 7 now. Over here, you can see there's a lot less scions around now. This Havoc back shot and killed this squad over here, and then Horus shot this command squad and killed, not Horus, sorry, Abaddon used the Talon of Horus, shot this command squad and killed them, and then charged the Melter squad and just cut them to pieces. Just they didn't even have a chance to do anything. He did consolidate into that commander, but he didn't attack him this turn, obviously. Chaos scored this time behind enemy lines thanks to Abaddon's psychological warfare, thanks to one of the scions running off. Area denial, because I have a unit, because I've got no one in the centre of the board, and also defend objective 3 over here. So that is a huge amount of points earned for the Chaos there. And just want to give a shout out to the stratagem used, Let the Galaxy Burn, and Veterans of the Long War plus Endless Cacophony really laid down a lot of firepower. So you Chaos players out there, take note. They are some tasty combos to use to clean through these Guard hordes. Let's see what the Imperial Guard can do in their turn 2. Interesting Imperial Guard turn here. Starting off over here, the conscripts fell back, and then everything unloaded into the Chaos Space Marines, and they were all wiped out. So that is fortunate over there. Another wound was done to one of the Obliterators over here from a cheeky heavy bolter shot from the tank, and he also regained a hull point, which is nice. And then over here, everything fired in to Abaddon, the Lord of Chaos, and he remains on 2 wounds. Some very good saves made by Johnny there. The blessing of the Dark Gods surrounds him. Points scored by the Imperial Guard this turn, just 2. I got secure objective 1 twice, and that cheeky commander there has got it. So let's see what Chaos can do in their turn. It's currently 8 points to Chaos, 6 to Imperial Guard. Who will be Abaddons next time? A bittersweet Chaos turn there. They managed to do some damage across the line, wiping out these veterans, doing some damage to the Lehman Russ, killing some conscripts, and killing a couple of, well, almost wiping the Scions out. But unfortunately, Abaddon went for a glorious charge, and the Guard veterans, the Mordian Iron Guard, they held the triggers down. They just got a stupid amount of Overwatch. I'm not going to lie, my dice were really lucky. 3 6s between the las cannon and the plasma guns, and he managed to make 2 saves from the plasma guns, and then the las cannon came in, got a 1 on the number of damage, and then I used my final command point, re-rolled it, got the 5, and Abaddon was killed in Overwatch. Bit of a disappointment there, unfortunately. Feeling pretty bad for the Chaos player on that one. I thought he was going to go in there and just munch a whole lot of guard, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. So the Chaos that turn scored, was it no prisoners? Or blood and guts? Didn't get any points, so it was all hinged on Abaddon. So let's see if the Guard can do something here. We have taken a bit of a battering, but hopefully turn 3 Guard we can do a bit of a surge. Let's see what happens. So not a bad Guard turn. These 2 opened up and managed to do 4 damage to that Rhino. Everything over here advanced. Just this squad wanted to secure objective 6, and these guys are going as far forward as possible. They went 22, 23 inches in 1 turn. The reason they're advancing and not shooting is because we want to try and get domination in one of the turns for one of my objectives. Over here, things did some shooting. Managed to kill one of the obliterators and do a wound to another. Also, that one's on 1 wound, and then the conscripts charged in to tie some units up and trying to get close to objective 5 and objective 3. So yeah, that is no wound. They took a few. One got run over by the Rhino, and a few more were crushed by the obliterators. Unfortunately, weren't able to kill any. So the Guards scored that turn. We got Kingslayer because of Abaddon and the Overwatch. And then we got secure objective 6 and defend objective 1. So they're what we got this turn. So it's on to Chaos turn 4, and we're going to see what Maelstrom points they can claw back. Chaos looking a bit thin on the ground, but they've still got some units, and there's still some Marines. So Chaos turn wasn't too bad. They may be down to the last few guys, but these are Black Legion. They don't give up easy. This Rhino over here shot some veterans, then charged in and has blocked them. So he's trying to stop me from getting domination over here. Clever move over there. Over here, these Black Legion have piled out. They have managed to kill the last Scion commander, and there's 1 brave Scion there holding against these traitors. 1 was lost to Overwatch, one of the Chaos Marines. Over here, no damage done on either side, just a bit of a wet noodle fest. Oh no, sorry, 4 conscripts died to the obliterators, no damage done by the conscripts. And then over here, no damage done to either side. So both armies pretty thin on the ground. The current score is 11 to the Black Legion and 10 to the Imperial Guard, so it is a really close game. Both armies battered and bruised. It really is going to come down to the last few turns, who can grab those crucial Maelstrom points. Okay, so this is Imperial Guard turn 4. I drew defend objective 5 and mission critical objective number 3. Still holding on to domination, still really want to get that. So this is what happened. Basically, I made a bit of a mistake and forgot to pull back with the Scion over here. Because of that, I was unable to shoot into those Marines, so instead I moved this Guardsman squad over there just to try and pile bodies onto it. That Scion then fell in combat, and the Marines, with extreme prejudice, are now targeting this Guardsman squad, so it's going to be tight. Over here, yeah, pretty unlucky with my weapons fire. I pulled back and then fired, but was only able to do 2 wounds to the Rhino. Really, they're obviously getting a bit shaken up, these veterans. They've been rammed and shot, and yeah. Over here I just piled bodies onto this objective just to make sure, just to try and get domination. I scored objective number 3 because these conscripts were objective secured and it was mission critical, and I got defend objective 5 because these conscripts were on it last turn and their objective secured as well. So that's 2 more points for the Guard, still holding on to domination. Let's see what the Chaos can do. So Chaos drew overwhelming firepower and Witch Hunter. The elusive Witch is still alive, and they almost got overwhelming firepower. There's 3 veterans remaining, but the Havoc launchers, which have been doing so well all game, I mean, they've been rolling 4s, 5s for shots. They got 2, this Havoc launcher and this Havoc launcher both got a 1 on the number of shots, and that just meant those veterans lived, and it means that overwhelming firepower could not be scored, so that's really unfortunate. Over here, these guys, they helped shoot down some of the veterans. They actually did the majority of the damage, and then they charged in and managed to kill 2 more without losing any of their number in return. This squad of Chaos Space Marines is actually, I'd say they're probably MVP for the Chaos. They've done really, really well. They've just murdered all the Scions pretty much, and then come over here and are just holding that objective. And then this Rhino is just getting a cheeky line breaker, but it's turn 5 Guard. Let's see what they can do. So end of Guard, turn 5, end of the game. We have rolled to see if it goes on. It didn't. So basically these Guardsmen held on as best they could. They managed to drag down one of the Chaos Marines with them, and they were able to secure objective number 1. This guy over here was able to secure objective number 6. These guys, these conscripts, finally managed to get objective number 5, and this squad of guys got objective number 2. And finally, this little astropath, they failed to do anything all game, got objective number 3, and the tank held objective number 4, which means the Guard did hold every objective. Finally, after turn of pushing towards it, they got domination. Final score, it was D3 plus 1, which puts the final score for the Guard on 19 if you include Warlord and Linebreaker, and the Chaos on 13 if you include Linebreaker and First Blood. I mean, it's an absolutely just epic game. There's hardly any Guard left. I mean, what, I've got 20 models tops on the board. Marines have barely got anything left either. Obliterator, a couple of Rhinos. Really has been an absolute bloodbath. I'd say MVP for the Guard. Definitely the Scions coming in here and just deleting Abaddons unit. Absolutely just critical unit. And the MVP for the Marines, we can't really decide. The Chaos Space Marines were really nasty when they were using those stratagems, just cleaning out nearly a whole block of conscripts. But the Obliterators just nuking Pask in a couple of turns was almost got him in 1 turn. So sort of 2 MVPs for the Chaos. Obliterators really good. Chaos Marines should be feared. But overall, it was a pretty close game. Without domination, it would have been much, much closer, and it really did come down to a few key dice rolls. But we'll cover a lot more of that in the after action. Hope you guys have all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.